Good morning, students. How are you? I hope and pray that all of you are keeping fine at home. Let's come to the point of our discussion. Today, I would like to discuss with you about a lesson, a school with difference. A school with difference. It is lesson 11 and we are going to discuss this. In this lesson, we find quite a few characters which are very, very different from the others. The school is of different kinds. So, the principal of the school, a visitor who is a writer of the whole incident, and the number of students with whom the author, the writer interacts. We are going to learn from that. And so here we begin our lesson. The author is Mr. Edward Verrall Lucas, who had heard about a school which was not like the all other schools. School is quite different from the other school. And he wanted to visit. He tried. At last he gets a chance. He goes over there. At the gate, nobody is there. And no receptionist and all. He sees a student who is led by the other small student. And then he goes inside. He had the idea, the perception about the principal that, or the in charge of the school, that she will be elderly lady, very disciplined and well defined figure and all. He had this kind of expectation. But as he enters, he finds Mrs. Beam or Miss Beam was that I had expected, that middle-aged, very kind lady, understanding. He says that we talked idly for a little while. He finds the principals when he meets in her chamber. He finds a quite elderly lady, a kind, middle-aged, it's not elderly, middle-aged woman, and she is very kind, he says. So as they started talking, they talked simplified, very formal talking they had, and then he asks about the schools. And he finds that, he says that no more than I needed to help them to learn how to do things, and those only the simple adding. So she asks, what is the curriculum of your school? The author asks, what is the curriculum of the school? Then Miss Bim says that it is not that take the board and then start writing, subtraction, reading, writing, all that is not there. When somebody is reading, the others, they are just paying attention, listening to, doing nothing. He says that during the rest of the rest of is done by reading to them and by interesting talks, during which they have means students do not they have to sit still, quietly sit still, quiet, and keep their hands quiet. Particularly, there are no other lessons at all. No other, like history, geography, civics, all that we don't have. I have heard so much, I said, about the originality of your system. Miss Beam smiled. Ah, yes, she says, I am coming to that. The real aim of this school is not so much to instill thoughts and thoughtfulness, but humanity, citizenship. That means to build, that means the aim of this school is not to um, teach the philosophy, the thought, the logic and thinking and mental work, but it is not that. Our main aim of opening this school is to build a better human and better citizenship, better human and better citizen. That is the aim of the school. That is the ideal I have always had. And happily, there are parents good enough. This is Miss Bim says. The parents are very helpful and they trust me and to try to practice, and they try to practice. Look out through the window, he says. Miss Beam invites the author, asks him to look out of the window, and he says that I see lovely children, but then they are all something abnormal. Some are lame, some are blindfolded, some are led by somebody else. So this is the system that then says so they are not very physically they are not fit, he says. Physically they are not well, they are playing around, but then what is that? They are not physically, they are not sound, he says. Then this, yes, that is right. I must tell you that they are not blind, they are not lame. It is their lame day, it is their blind day, and so they this day they have to be left by some others. So here there are, for example, a blind student who has been folded blind eyes throughout the day, and he or she is led by the other student who is instructing the one who is blind, and is telling every information, that means the boy or the girl who is leading the blindfolded student, they are teaching, they are explaining to all that is happening in and around, and the one who is blindfolded is listening, is keeping everything in mind, and then in the group discussion, they will discuss what all happened during the day. And so this is the system. So this is, some students are blind, some are deaf, some are dumb, some are lame, and so this is their lame day. They are taught this is how they are taught. And so says, it is very, very interesting, let me try. So he is led, the author is led by the principal to the ground, and then she takes the author to a little girl who is blind, and he or the author interacts with that blind one, and he asks, sometimes you open your eyes, no, that is cheating, this is That girl says, no, 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 we don't do that. That is cheating. And so what is the more difficult one says? To be blind must be so horrible, no? All day. No, the students say, the student they say that the blind day is not very difficult. What is difficult? To be dumb is very, very difficult. Your mouth is not tied up, but yet you have to keep quiet. You don't have to speak. Ow, 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 like that you have to speak. And so that is very difficult because you tend to speak. There is always temptation to speak out, but you have to be dumb throughout the day. That is more difficult. So it is this side. Some children tell me that the dumb day is the most dreaded day. There, of course, the child must exercise willpower. Willpower has to be explored. Only for the mouth is not bandaged. But come down to the garden and see for yourself how children like it. So he is led to the ground, and then they are more happy to learn from each other. And so, what is the problem and difficulties he tries to find out from the students? And towards the end, he says that I have learned many things. I have learned many things from you, student. I don't feel like going out. He says that. Yeah, he says that. Yes. So we walked on. Gradually, I discovered that I was 10 times more thoughtful than I ever thought I could be. I also realized that if I had to describe people and things to someone else, it made me more interesting to me. I told Miss Beam that I was very sorry to go. He's saying that it is I was more thoughtful. I was more thoughtful than I ever thought. Why? Because you have to explain exactly each and everything you have to explain to the one who is not able to see, not able to walk, not able to speak. You have to explain. And that is, you have to be more aware, always alert and aware that what I have to tell to the one who is disabled. And so I realized that if I had to describe people, if I had to describe people and things to someone else, it made me more interesting. It is very, very interesting. And so I am sorry to leave, but I have to go, he says. And then he leaves the campus. He has learned many things. So, this is in short, my dear student, I have told. But as you read this lesson, you will be able to understand how the student finds difficult or easy or perplex or anxieties coming when they are disabled. When they are disabled, either blindfolded or dumbfolded or lame or handicapped, and so they are to be led by somebody and who is able to explain, whether he is explaining the right thing or wrong thing, whether he is able to describe the things or not, and whatever he describes, the one who is disabled is able to keep everything in mind or not. Everything has to be discussed. So this is how students learn from students, and this school is the aim. The main aim is to build better humans and better citizenship. That is the aim of the school. So